The process of standing up for ourselves, to start saying no, to create firm boundaries, to start putting ourselves first, is not an easy process. It is not easy because we start to challenge the status quo, especially in our interpersonal relations, where people are not used to seeing us stand up for ourselves, are not used to our no, are somewhat conditioned to take us for granted, and it comes in as a very challenge for them when we start saying no, especially for individuals who lack any empathy. The process is so challenging that we prefer just going with our old roots, not being authentic, but just accepting whatever comes our way, because it is so challenging, the idea of confrontation, because we're not at all used to it, and we do everything to avoid it. All of our methods in one way of giving a silent treatment to a person, expecting them to understand our feelings, to avoid people in general itself, is a way of us to protect ourselves, right? We avoid all social connections because we feel like we could avoid those situations. But the learning and bettering ourselves only comes, the healing in one way comes when we start standing up for ourselves. We start saying no, we start facing these difficult situations. uh, we stop avoiding confrontations if it leads to a confrontation, but we politely say no without any explanation in most cases, and slowly build this inner muscle of standing up for ourselves, inner muscle of saying no, and develop this inner council which decides for itself. And again, if you're in a situation where you feel it is a challenge, where you feel people take you for granted, and that's why you feel like avoiding all of these social connections, again, just question yourself whether you are lacking boundaries, right? Where you have to reinstate it. And this process again will be very challenging, especially for people who are used to seeing you in a certain way. So it wouldn't come automatically, but through repetition, but through practice, but by slowly framing your boundaries and starting to stand up for yourself. Hope the video helps.